everyone, and welcome to my shakedown cruise. Out of the car wash, knocked about 3 months of dust and everything off. Still over there, pup. Good dog. You always don't get concerned. Most of the dogs around here are street smart or road smart, but you never know. Anyway, just got out of the car wash, and so far all the vitals are looking about normal, with the exception of the coolant, the water temp. And it is low. Granted, it's about 42, 43 degrees out here, so it's a little chilly, and that may have something to do with it. But at least it's not running hot so far. I've got maybe about 10 miles. So far, so good. Kind of thought I might see more oil pressure. Because I cleaned out the pickup screen of all that Teflon coating off the cam timing gear, but it's about the same.
The close-up. Look how loose this chain is. There. Look at that. That's amazing.
Brushed it off there, and
which is spec. It's fine. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Just thought it might be a little higher. Anyway, so we're going to put it through some paces and maybe range out a little bit more, and if it acts like it's going to do good. So far, no strange sounds, vitals look good. Be right back. Alright, first impression. Number one, I didn't get that, when I did the rack joint, I didn't get the steering wheel centered good. Mainly, I didn't record it because just was no way to get a camera down and around to get it. I think there's some good videos around. But anyway, let me point out a few things. There's the
looks like I'm going to have to pull the steering wheel to center it, but we'll worry about that when I go to do the dash. It's not going to keep it down. There's a look at the vitals, and we're cruising at about 60. And notice that water temp up there. It's that's lower than normal, and I drove this last winter, so perhaps that aluminum radiator is more efficient. We'll see. It's about light as a feather. Oil pressure's about the same. I filled up, so we got a full tank of gas. What? We've had a couple days of rain. Well, I gotta get used to my steering again. That rear end just likes to want to come around with me. But it's dry now. Probably some water puddles I'm gonna hit. It's gonna dirty this thing up. So we're just gonna keep on getting on down the road. Oh, another thing I've noticed. That slight hesitation I'd feel is gone totally. So I'm going to guess all those repairs I was doing was needed, but what finally fixed the problem was getting the that slack out of that timing chain. Apparently there was enough slack in that timing chain to where it could vary the timing at a steady RPM and cause the problem. It's gone now, and I am running a little bit higher on the timing, the idle timing on vacuum and mechanical. But so far I haven't noticed any valve clank at all, so I might be good on that. So anyway, on with the cruise. Alright, I'm going to remark on the shocks. Alright, let's fish it back up there. They have made a vast improvement in handling and ride. You know, since they were wore out when I got it, and I've never drove or driven one, a Vette that with good shocks, then so I had nothing to compare the ride to before. Now that I've got these new shocks on, it's a vast improvement. Handling is much better. It takes, it recovers off bumps and dips real fast. And, granted, both shocks I put on here, the AC Delcos in the back and the KYB XLGs in the front, they are a softer version. They're not like the Bilsteins or even the higher performance KYBs. But like I said earlier, I guess in another thread, this is a cruiser. With this L48 engine, it's not a race car, at least not yet. And it may get to that point one day, but at this time it isn't. And one day is not going to be very soon anyway. But all that it needs, cosmetics wise, it's I just want to make sure it's mechanically sound as is, then we'll go from there. With that Lars Grimsrud tune on this thing, it runs pretty good. I mean, I'm not it's almost as quick as that GMC with the 300 horsepower 350 is in it, but of course it's not. Compare horsepower numbers, you know, there's just no comparison. But this is a lighter vehicle, and it is geared a little different than the truck, so I don't know. Still, a bit more power won't hurt. We'll see. Back to the cruise. Well, all right. I did about a 40-mile shakedown, and it looks high and dry in there. It didn't get hot. Everything seems to be where it should be. All right, no noises. Let's go around to the other side, and you can look down in there. All right, you can barely see the blue outline of the that thick gasket. One-piece gasket, and it's dry all through everywhere. If I get the light shining right. So far, I did have one casualty though. And you can see the gap down there, the air gap between the radiator and the shroud. That foam piece was not thick enough, and it started working its way out. I noticed when I was idling. So I shut it down and pulled it out, and it still didn't affect the cooling. So far, so good. What we'll do is wait to see if there's what kind of drops we got underneath it while it sits here and cools. So, anyway, that's how she sits. I'm not crawling under it now. I'll look for drips later. This is day 2 of the shakedown cruising, and I arranged it out a little further, And I even took it on what I call my mini dragon, and it did good. The only adjustment I've had to do thus far was I had to turn the idle down a little bit. I ran some errands this morning, so it took me into town, so I was in some red lights, stop and go, and I thought it was idle a little too high, so I put my tack on it. Sure enough, it was. So I've put him down to where when I'm in gear idling, I'm around 600 to 650, somewhere around that range, and that's where it's supposed to be. Otherwise, he's doing good. The heater works great. When I started out this morning, it was 27 degrees. And it's about 35 now. And, well, that heater kept me nice and comfortable. And, matter of fact, I had to turn the blower all the way down to the lowest setting eventually. But I did leave it at the maximum heat. But comfortable. Who says you can't run these things in the wintertime, huh? But anyway, the temperature, it just hasn't got up to 180. It just hasn't got to that point. I'm kind of wondering about my sender or gauge now, because I know the thermostat's open and I can feel around on the hoses and radiator and the heater hoses, and I know it's very hot. It's once that coolant leaves the thermostat and the upper radiator hose, it's too hot to touch. But the further you feel on the radiator to the right, going towards the passenger side, the cooler it gets, to where I can just lay my hand there on the filler cap and just lay it there and lollygag around. It doesn't burn. So the cold weather coupled with the efficiency of that radiator, I guess, is doing the job. I guess I'll know when it comes warmer weather, but right now I almost think it's running too cool. Well, let's see. Everything else is doing good. No strange noises. Handling great. Steering wheel is bothering me. I marked it with the dust, so I know where I need to start and then center it. So I'll probably center it way before I tear that dash out. I do want to have that tack, but I'm in no hurry to tear into that dash right now. And that may get to where when it warms up, where my fingers are a little bit more nimble. But otherwise, I guess I've got about 140 to 150 miles on it now, in 2 days of shakedown cruising, and I believe I can trust it to run more errands and to even range out even further and do things. So I'm gonna run him some more, and just to make sure. And the 49's ready for some service, so I'll probably start doing some service on it here too, some preventative maintenance. So anyway, I believe it's roadworthy, but you know how it is. Things can change at any time, especially when you're dealing with a 48-year-old car. So, hope everything's going good with you and yours. Everything's going good here. Can't complain. Won't do me no good to complain anyway. Just take care of the business and carry on. So, have a good one, and I hope to see you around on the next one. See you.